Welcome back to Fixing Furniture. If you've got some wooden wheels that have some worn out rubber on the outside, I'm going to show you how to replace the rubber. Now you might not feel comfortable doing this on your own, so you can find a local repair person. Unfortunately, there aren't that many repair shops around, so the third option is to send it to us. And this is what a customer did. This is a box from Michigan. So I've got two T-cart wheels here. I'm going to show you how I take the old rubber off, replace it with new rubber, and then I'll ship this back to the customer. Stick with me, I'll show you how it's done.
As a furniture repair business, we're opening the doors to our workshop to show you the tools and techniques to repair furniture.
The front rail here, you can see this has been broken off.
We give you tips to make your repair projects easier. Let's get into the workshop and start fixing furniture.
I'll roll out some padding here and get out both of the wheels, and we'll take a look at them. This wheel has a bunch of rubber missing from it, but this one, it doesn't seem that bad around most of it. It's up at the top here. You can see there are segments broken out. So the first thing to do is cut off the old rubber. I just use side cutters for this. Just snap that off. And on this one, let's see if I can get in there. To order the new rubber, you need to know the diameter and the length you need. So for a diameter, the most common sizes are these two, 3/8 and 1/2 inch. And a AAA battery is the same as a 3/8. A AA battery is just a little bit wider than the 1/2 inch. So you can use these as guides when sizing them for your wheel. You can see how this nests in the groove of the wheel. This is the AAA battery, and it's rather small looking. So if we compare these to the rubber that came off of the wheel, it does look like it's the 1/2 inch size. So that's the diameter that we need for this wheel. The second measurement I need is the length for the rubber. So I'll put a measuring tape on the workbench, but that's not what I'm measuring with. What I need to do is measure with a string. So if I take a string here and run it around inside the groove of the wheel, when I get it to this end here, I'll just pinch it where it meets, and then I can measure this on the measuring tape. So that's 42 inches. The measurement is actually the inside diameter of the wheel, and the rubber needs to be longer than that. So I'm going to add a couple of inches, and then what I'll do is hold the rubber in place, and I can mark it for length. We sell this rubber on our website by the foot, and we ship it around the world. We shipped it as far as Australia. What I'll do next is cut the rubber and we'll get it sized right. Now before I cut this to length, I need to make sure I've got a good end here. So I need to cut it square, and because it's rubbery and squishy a little bit, it's difficult to cut. So what I want to do is, as I'm cutting it, make sure the heel of the blade cuts first. If you cut with a point and come this way, you'll end up with a flange out front. Let me show you what I mean by that. So I'll cut through here, point down, and there you can see there's a little bit of a flange. So that's why you need to cut with the heel. So I had cut with a point down like this, which ended up with a flange down here. What I want to do is get the base of the blade down on the bench. So I'll eyeball it here to get a square, bring it down, cut through. And there, we've got a good square cut. So I'll now cut it to length. I had measured 42, so I'm going to cut it at 44. You need to make sure you've got a flat cut and that it's perpendicular, because we're going to glue the next end to it. So I'll pull this around the wheel, make sure it's in the groove, and there you can see the overlap I have. So if I would have cut it at 42, I would have been short material. So now what I can do is mark this line, and then I want to cut it back 1/4 of an inch shorter. This material does have some stretch to it. So by cutting it a little bit shorter, it allows me to stretch it over the wheel and get a nice tight fit. There's the end. I'll cut it 1/4 of an inch shorter. So I'll cut it right here. Now we can glue these ends together. And the adhesive that we use for this is CA glue. You might know it as crazy glue. You can buy it at virtually any grocery store. You can buy it at all hardware stores. And the important thing is you're wearing PPE. There's a video, if you look hard enough in our inventory, where I accidentally glued my fingers together. It's not a fun exercise to undo. So I'll get my gloves on here, we'll get out the glue, and show you how it goes together. I've got a paper towel here in case I make a bit of a mess. But what I want to do is stand this up and get the CA glue across the surface. You don't want too much, but you do need to coat the surface. I'll set that aside. I've actually got a little bit too much here. I've got a bit of a puddle going. I'm just going to take a little bit out. Otherwise it'll make a mess. And then we'll put these together. And you've got about 5 seconds to get them lined up the way you want them. And then hold them in place. 30 seconds should do it. 60 seconds definitely will. So just give it some time here. And then what I do is I let this cure for a little while. I don't want to stretch it immediately and put strain on it. I'll cut and glue the rubber for the other wheel, and then I'll put them on the wheels. Okay, we've now got 2 rubber tires, and if we look closely, you'll see there's a bit of CA glue that makes it shiny. I'll just move that in the light. If we take 4/0 steel wool and rub those shiny spots, it'll dull them down and hide the seam. Here's the seam here. I'll flip it to the inside where I didn't clean it, and you can see the difference. Now I can stretch it on the wheel. I'll just hold the bottom here where I've got the joint, and then stand it up and roll it on. I used 1/2-inch diameter rubber on this wheel. If you're using a smaller diameter rubber, it does stretch more, so you'll want to leave more of a gap before you glue it together. This is held on just by tension. There's no adhesive at all. And if you find that it's a little bit too loose, all you need to do is cut it on that seam, cut off a little bit more, and then glue it again. The customer had written me a really nice note in the box, so I'm going to send her a "Wouldn't it be nice" sticker and write her a note back. So I'll pack up these wheels and send them back to Michigan. I'm going to leave you with another video here for you to enjoy, and thank you for watching Fixing Furniture.